Guten Morgen, willkommen zu Beyond Singing. Good morning and welcome to Beyond Singing, this time in English again. Yeah, we got used to this, I think. And I'm very happy to welcome Maria Zoi from Atelier d'Excellence.
Good morning, Mine. Guten Morgen.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for the invitation. I'm happy to be with you. And
Yes.
congratulations for this wonderful interview series that you have started.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to have you here. Maria, would you like to tell us how your singing path has started?
Oh, wow, that's a big question.
Yeah.
So I am originally Greek. So I started my music studies back in the time in Athens, first in my small town where I come from, Trikala, and then I continued my studies to the National Conservatory in Athens, and I took my diploma in classical singing. I studied in the parallel mass media and communications, which was of great help for what I do right now. At that time, I couldn't realize how helpful it would be. And after completing my studies in Greece, opportunities were quite restricted in my country because we just have one opera house there. So I started thinking of exploring opportunities abroad and started taking master classes in Germany and expanding my network in Europe. So this was the first step in order to decide some years afterwards to study in Germany. Mm-hmm. So I gave exams to the Hochschule in Munich, and I studied there Meisterklasse Gesang. I graduated in 2015. After Munich, I moved to Düsseldorf, as you know, to study with another teacher there on my technique and perfect some kind of specific repertoire that I was working at that time. And I studied with Jim Pyland, an American mezzo-soprano who is the solist of the Düsseldorf Oper. And I left from Germany in 2016 after 4 years. I had some very creative 4 years in Germany, but I felt again that I needed to explore more. So I was a person who wanted to explore and who was never satisfied with the current achievement. So I wanted to go even further with my technique and with my career opportunities, and decided to do the big step and go to the United States. Mm-hmm. That was a big step for a Greek person who in the beginning tried Germany, and then the US seemed very far away, you know, for my parents, my friends, and myself. But I took this decision because I was convinced that the teacher I was following at that time was the perfect choice for me. And time proved that it was actually a very, very good choice. So I went there without knowing anybody. Starting my career from the beginning, I was already an established singer in Greece. I left my career in Greece, started establishing myself in Germany. When I left Germany, I had to start again from the beginning. So literally, I started 3 times from the beginning. And in the first years in America, as I told you before, it was hard because I didn't have friends. I didn't have network, professional network and connections. But I started building it step by step, because I always had the impression that our job is not only about perfecting our technique and about perfecting our voice, but it has a business part too. It has a networking part. So even if you are very good, people have to get to know you somehow. So you have to approach the right people that will give you chances, people who believe in the young generation and are kind. And I mean, I did some mistakes, as everybody, I guess, in this world. But eventually, I got by the right people, and I started being given these chances in the United States. So at the end of this 4-year effort, which was very, very hard, I managed to take my artist visa. I was engaged by the Metropolitan Opera Guild, Teatro Grattacielo, Opera Florem, New Jersey, started doing debuts in these houses and participating in opera galas and concerts. And my career was going very well. And eventually, and then the pandemic came.
Yes.
And it was like a wave that destroyed everything at that point. We felt all very overwhelmed. It was a situation that we were facing for the first time. I mean, I am 35 years old. I never faced a pandemic before. I didn't know how the world could be with the pandemic. So I have to admit that in the beginning I felt very frustrated because my gigs got cancelled. When I was discussing with my colleagues, there was a general frustration everywhere because everybody had the same problems, and some people had families and kids to feed and send them to school, and all these everyday issues that people outside think that artists do not have.
Yes.
We are people like all other people, and we face the same problems with them. So in the first weeks it was hard, as I guess it was for you and everybody, but I decided to overcome initial frustration and do something. I'm a fighting creature. I want always to do something. I don't want to stay and just grieve. So I said I have to do something not only for me, because sometimes as opera singers it is a very demanding thing to do, and we are like marathon runners and Olympic Games athletes. We have to concentrate a lot on ourselves. What I do, my technique, my voice, my auditions, it's my I. It's never we.
No.
So I decided that it was the perfect time to put the I in the we and do something for me, but for the others as well. So creating Atelier d'Excellence, that in the beginning didn't have a name even. the name came out of a nice morning with a nice coffee with my husband. We were discussing how this can happen, and I said, okay, what do you think about this name? And he said, that's very nice. So I called it Atelier. Thank you very much. I'm a great lover of the French language first, but Atelier means a place like Michelangelo's workshop, for example. It is a place of creation. It is not a school, because I don't want to call what I do a school. Who am I to teach anybody, right? But it is a workshop where, some wiser people than us, a little bit older and wiser and more experienced, gather, and we all share experiences, show what we are, exchange opinions and advice. This was the purpose, to make a creative space, not a school.
Yes.
So I created, I say I, because in the beginning it was only me. Now it is we. It is not I anymore. But in the beginning it was just me, and then another good friend, which I called when I started working this idea in my brain, which was conductor Giannis Yiannopoulos. He's also Greek, but he has been living in the United Kingdom for many years. So when I told him that I have this idea, he embraced it immediately, and he said he would like to support it and be part of it. So we began with Giannis, building what Atelier is, and started the website, and started discussing what our mission should be. And it became a reality. We started in the beginning doing some webinars with established artists that we either knew personally. I had worked with them, for example, so I had a very good opinion about their work. And so we started with the webinars, and we had a few webinars since last April. But people were, in the beginning, we just have a small audience, 2-3 singers, and these 3 singers, because, this work is a lot of word of mouth. It's based on that. Singers tell to other singers, and this is how it works. So singers were coming again and again. We had reoccurring singers in the master classes, and they were writing very nice things to us. Not just thank you, it was very nice, but you opened the window to me, you gave me joy. I was so frustrated. I wanted to quit singing in this gloom and doom. And now you gave me hope. And please do more. Do more, and do for more days and for more hours. I want to work. I want to still stay on the track, to be good still. Because now at home I cannot have coachings, I cannot have auditions, I will stay back. So people had these fears.
And being an artist is also not only about having a work and really working, but it's also working on yourself the whole time. And not being able to work on yourself and being at home and just doing normal stuff, and not being able to because sometimes I feel when I'm not singing, it's really a part of oneself. It's like, it's your organ. It's a part of yourself. And if you're not working on it, and your brain and everything then you feel disconnected.
It's like you tell a child not to play.
Right.
It's the same. It's impossible. So I sat and I thought that I have to do something together with Yanis to keep the community alive and active, and to keep the people together in communication and in touch. So around last June, I started having the idea of the Accademia d'Opera Italiana by Atelier Italiana. It was a greater scale program with many mentors and many days and hours. In the beginning, it seemed unrealistic to me because we were just two, Yanis and me, and then we had help from another assistant too for a while, but it was a small team in order to administrate such a greater project, but we did it. I started speaking. Great. You may want to ask me some more specific things, so I will stop and I will leave it to you.
No, it's fine. I will just interfere in between because it's very interesting, because of course people should know what you're doing, because it's a great work. And it's also, what I wanted with this interview series, that people actually come and talk about the things they built in this pandemic, because it's not only about sitting at home and, as I said before, and waiting for the pandemic to be over, and then it's over. It won't happen. So we have to do something, and we have to create something. And as I'm a big defender of the idea to really unite the singers. Of course, it's a very, very, solitary road, because you're by yourself. As you said, you have to do everything by yourself. You're not looking right or left. And, of course, there's a part of competition with other singers when you're looking for a job. But outside of this, and there is a community, and it's totally important that this branch gets more open, so that people actually help each other as well, and that we can actually talk to each other. That's why I did this audition. I did an audition for the whole churches in 4 or 5 areas in Germany. So I could have done that for myself, just to get a job, but I wanted to do something so that everybody can have this. So I built this audition. So we had 20 singers who could audition for many churches and have a job, because the operas were closed. And so something that and I'm a big defender of, putting your network and putting that out and saying, like, you can use this, you can go there, or you can use my network, because I think that's very important.
Before you mentioned the word competition, there is competition. I think we should see competition as a very creative means to become better, and to smell what other things exist around us. For example, when I was in Greece, I was blessed to have some opportunities, and I was considered a very good singer there. But when I visited Germany, I saw that I was very back in my technique and in my development. So I had to do something to be at the same level like people abroad. So competition is something that we should be seeking for. We should be seeking to meet other people and how they are singing and what they are doing, and why eventually they are receiving the praise they are receiving. This is something that we managed to have in the academia, because people were able to watch each other's classes. And that most of them came back to us and told us that this was the greatest lesson.
Can you tell me how how this program was? You said Accademia d'Opera Italiana, right? So how many webinars were there? There was also competition. So what was the program? How long was it? And what did you do there?
So we received, first of all, 46 applications from 17 different countries. So the selection wasn't an easy job, because 95% of the singers were high level and very professional. I was impressed really to see how good singers are out there. And we got these applications. We accepted eventually 16 people. We also gave some scholarships for auditors, because we had the choice to join the program both as active, bless you, both as active and as an auditor. So eventually all our auditors participated with scholarships, but the active participants now, who would be also the competitors of the Prix Atelier d'Excellence, which was the online competition and closing ceremony of the Accademia d'Opera Italiana by AD. These people attended 24 classes, and each class was maybe maximum 4 hours, minimum 2. So it was a program of almost, 60 hours of learning. It lasted for 2 weeks. People had the chance to participate daily in something, either singing or listening, because they didn't all of them sing every day. And I think that what we achieved with this academia was to unite the artistic world of the United States and Europe, which was my initial goal when I started this organization. It is very difficult, to travel to the United States. It has a big cost, and the journey is, quite something, especially right now with the pandemic, it's impossible. But even before, I want to say that because Atelier doesn't serve only the present and the current conditions, I think it is something that is going to stay because it serves the need to connect these two worlds. Yes. I am in touch with a young baritone, a very talented Greek baritone who wants, for example, he's interested in giving exams in Juilliard. But imagine for a young boy who lives in Berlin, how difficult it is to travel to the United States just to sing for a teacher at Juilliard, right?
Yes.
So Atelier would like to mediate and bring this boy in touch, for example, with 2 or 3 teachers of his choice, so that this audition happens virtually on the first step.
That's gorgeous.
And if he gets the encouragement to try to travel, then it is going to worth, not to be just an effort in vain. So we would like to do this kind of connections, not only for students, but also for professional people, because we are in touch with a wide network of managers, both in the States and in Europe, and with other kind of mentors like conductors and coaches. And the academia managed to do this thing. We brought American singers in touch with European mentors and vice versa.
That's gorgeous, yeah.
And people had the perspective of both sides, because as we discussed in our personal discussion a few days ago, you may be in Germany a lyrical soprano, but the repertoire that you will be singing in America and in Germany will be very different because of the size of the theaters and the taste, which is also different, but especially the size of the theaters and what different countries are used to hear from each voice. So you have to be advised what to do, what kind of audition to have with you when you go to sing for United States theaters and agents and European. It's not the same repertoire.
Not at all. Even in Europe, there are differences. I'm sorry. I think the Musetta is casted quite light in Germany, and it's the heavier soprano in Italy.
Exactly.
Or, there are things like this. And if you don't know that, or Gilda is very, very light in Germany and much, much, much heavier in Italy. So you have to know that when you're going to another country, this is so important, and where to get that information from, because
exactly.
as you said, we're on your, you're on your own, and then you go to the internet and you're like, okay, I want to go there. And who's going to tell me how to do that? Who can I approach? Who can I ask? Can I ask the bigger people, the ones with a career? Will they answer? Asking questions like this is also, it's not very comfortable as well. So this is really, really great. I think there needs to be something who mediates between singers, agencies, or singers and opera houses.
And actually, this is a very important part. I agree. Actually, another problem that I was always considering as my problem is that, okay, I am in touch with good coaches and good conductors, respect me, and I work with them and everything, but I don't get work opportunities. And this is a big problem for many young singers who are very talented sometimes, but they're not so good in public relationships and networking. Mm-hmm. So, I wasn't either at some point. I learned how to be. And this was taught to me in the United States. I will speak for that, about the United States, what they offer to me. But it is very important not just to learn, not just to be in a studio and learn new technique and new tips. Okay, that's all very important. We have first to be doing high artistry, but then it is very important to have the opportunities to go on stage. As a very important opera figure told me, the greatest lesson, my dear, is on stage. If you sing isolated in a room, you may have thousands of coachings with the best people in the world, but you will remain the same. You will go to the same mistakes every day. The best teacher is the stage. So during the pandemic, the only thing we could do is offer these people of the academy an online concert and the competition and some prizes. We thank our sponsors, people like the team behind the Diction Buddy app and the Resonance app and the 360 of Opera. I want especially to thank the 360 of Opera and Opera Wire. They supported us from our first steps. And with the support of these organizations, we managed also to offer some prizes and to give these singers the opportunity to be heard eventually by almost 40,000 people.
Yes.
This was the result of our streaming.
Can you tell people what you did? Because I watched it, I know it, but people don't know.
You asked, I didn't hear you so well. What did people get, you said?
No, how was the competition? How did you, because,
okay,
you know, virtual competition.
Yes, it was virtual competition. We couldn't do otherwise right now. So the jury, with all these internationally acclaimed coaches from the United States and Europe, singers among them, and with the addition of the great Ermonella Yaho, they were our competitions jury, 13 members with Ermonella. It was really great honor to have her with us. Totally. She awarded also the first prize to the winner. So Kirsten Chambers, Alexia Bulgaridou, I mean, big names of the operatic stage. They all supported us and were present in the competition. So these people judged the singers live based on their performances with videos. We used pre-recorded performances. But the pre-recorded performances were not edited. Just tried once and sent to us. We checked that this was done by everybody like this. So we played these pre-recorded performances, and the competition was just live. The jury heard the performances at the time of the live event. So afterwards, we had a small ceremony with playing videos of Ermonella Yaho and Kirsten Chambers, Alexia Bulgaridou, Stefano De Peppo. We played videos from their career, and in this time, we gave time to the jury to decide about the winners. Okay. And then we tabulated the results and we announced the winners, and it was quite an exciting thing. I felt that I was participating really. That I felt the excitement of a live thing, and many people told me, you know something, I felt all the excitement and the tiredness also of a live thing. We couldn't feel it was not real, you know, and the emotions were real, of course, and the joy at the end.
We have a question here as well. So this is my sister, actually. She's asking, how did you manage to get managers on board to do such a selection virtually? Managers,
she said.
Yeah. I mean, she's not a singer.
We had just one artist manager. Oh, no, we had actually almost two. We had Sandra Hormozy, who is a very acclaimed opera manager in New York. And she's based between actually New York and Roma. So she has a very good impression and experience in both continents. And we also had Eleonora Pacetti, who is a kind of manager too, since she was casting assistant at Teatro alla Scala, and now she's the director of the opera studio in Teatro de Roma. So we had two people of management in this competition. And how did I convince them? I didn't try a lot, because they were so generous and so kind that when they heard about my idea, they were immediately very open in order to help. They wanted to contribute, and I didn't face great difficulty. I have to be honest. I have to be honest to you that most of the people that I am approaching are very positive.
Yeah, I think, and it's also because people want to connect, not only because of the pandemic, because people are alone at home and it's an issue for everybody, even out of our business, but also in the opera business. it is a hard business, and really connecting to other people or helping other people is, especially in this time, a very good thing, because I think in the States there is no help from the state, right? There is
No.
nothing.
Theaters are unabhängig, if I use the right word. They are trying on their own. Yes, they have. They are being sponsored by some people who can do it, like rich people who love opera and support them, or greater organizations who support opera, but the state does not participate. So imagine how difficult the situation can be right now. But opera in the United States, I mean, I don't know if American singers will say and think the same as me, because for me, it still seems like a dream being there.
Yes.
But I would say that opera in the United States is a dream to me, because they are still more fond of the traditional stage direction, for example, the great gowns. Everything is more traditional, it's more operatic in the way we used to know it. And people do it with great joy. I mean, you find difficult people everywhere, okay, but the great majority enjoys it and sees it playfully, and it is very friendly for people who are coming from other countries. I never felt that somebody was questioning me or criticizing me or waiting for me to prove that I am something because I am Greek. I was embraced immediately by everybody, and it is really a country of opportunity. They really want to give you this chance, but they expect you to be very hardworking. They expect to be proud of you if they give you this chance. So if you really are hardworking, I think you have reasons to believe that you can have a career there. Of course, the career there is more difficult than in Germany because, as we said before, there is no state support and there is no fest engagement also. Like in Germany, there is no fest contract with the theaters. We work as guests with organizations and theaters, and this doesn't guarantee a salary if you have a family. So you're always a freelancer, which has a cost psychologically and in general terms. But I mean, it's not for everyone. It's a big decision. You have to risk a lot going there and to be ready for a lot. But I have to say what I wanted to tell you from before, that if I hadn't traveled to the United States, I wouldn't have been an entrepreneur today. And in this country, especially New York, I cannot speak for the whole country because some parts of the country are not probably like New York. New York is a place that everybody can fit in, everybody can be friends with each other. It is a city like no other city.
Yeah.
And it teaches you that everything is possible. You can meet the most unbelievable people walking in the street beside you. I remember that the first ever week I visited in Manhattan, I saw in front of me Dolora Jazic, the mezzo-soprano, which I admire. And then I saw somebody else. I mean, it is so easy to meet these people and talk to them. If you talk to them, they will be friendly. In Europe, I didn't have the same experience. People have a distance. They have a wall. So American people have this charisma to be open with others and to be telling them, okay, come and sing to me. Yes, why not? If you saw, for example, Michael Fabiano on the street, he will tell you, yes, you want to sing for me? Okay, come. It is so easy. It is not difficult. And this is something that I'm still excited for. And of course, I have other friends. I had an entrepreneur day, if you remember, between the Academia and the Atelier d'Excellence. And I presented my entrepreneur friends there. And getting in touch with these people while in the States made me discover my own talents. I said, okay, these people can, and I could possibly too. So we are artists, and this means we are creative creatures. We shouldn't be putting this creativity in a cage of one only thing. We are more, and we should be flexible to develop this more into specific circumstances. I don't feel bad right now that I'm not only a singer, because I discovered that I am other things too, and that I can be useful to other people by exploring more, not just to myself.
And I think this part, the entrepreneurship, actually also is good for the singing, because it gives you an extra power or something, an extra to know that, I can do this and I can do this as well. Not only, I'm not only a singer, and I can also use my talents for something else. Or I can use my talents for the business part of the singing. And I think that's a great thing to do. I mean, you don't have to go and work somewhere else, which has nothing to do with the singing. You can actually build something which is also good for the community, actually, for the singing community, like the Atelier. This is a great opportunity. So I will also want you to, I mean, how can people reach you? Is it just that they write to you, or
we are everywhere. I mean, we have a website, and I would like very much here to mention that our team has grown more. And first, we have the addition of a great opera singer who does an international career, Mr. Sunny Voigt Ladla. He joined the AD recently as creative director. And we also have a team of artistic consultants now, a small team of two great maestros. Maestro Ricardo Estrada from Spain and Maestro Alessandro Moretti, our ADs, artistic consultants. And we have a very important person as an ambassador. Maybe, I mean, if we don't have the time today, maybe we can speak about the ambassadorships at another day, but this is Hermonella Yajo, AD's ambassador. And she is in support of our mission, and I think in the future we will explore different ways, especially after the pandemic, to support young artists with the help of people who are already having a big career. So the AD is not just Maria anymore, it's a greater team, and my dream became our dream.
So the future of Atelier is also supporting younger artists with a career.
Exactly. You asked before how they can reach us. We have a website. The website is Atelier d'Excellence with one word, .org.
Yeah, please share everything after in the comments so people can
I
actually really.
I will. They can reach us. They can find the email address of the organization, which is again atelierDexcellence@gmail.com. They can even write to my personal email, which they can find on my website, mariazoi.info. And we have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and we are checking every day. And I would like to encourage people not just to write in order to enroll in our programs, but if they want to write to ask advice or to ask a question from us or our team, they would be very welcome to do it. Do not hesitate. If I would like to give an advice, do not hesitate to ask anything. Go and ask. Have the courage. Do not hesitate. Nobody will blame you because you are a little bit too, courageous. You will lose a lot if you are hesitant. This is my advice. So go for it and take what you deserve. If you deserve it, of course.
That sounds great. Is there, so the future of Atelier, how do you see the future? What is planned right now? Can you talk about that a little?
Yes, we have numerous projects in front of us. Right now, I mean, artists have more free time, so they're very willing to cooperate. And our upcoming workshop next week hosts a very acclaimed opera manager from the US, Mr. Ken Benson, who served for 25 years as a vice president of the Columbia Artist Management. And now he has his own agency in New York, Ken Benson Artists, and also is active internationally. He does this workshop together with two other acclaimed coaches, Miss Mary Pinto, who used to be personal coach for Miss Deborah Voigt and many other acclaimed people, and Mr. Scott Barnes, who is an actor and stage director in New York, awarded with different kind of awards and very successful too. So these people are going to teach the winning formula workshop, which is a winning formula for your auditions. You learn where you stand, you get evaluated, you get information what to improve, what gaps exist in the market for you, what is the right repertoire for you, what would be the right attitude to go to an audition. I mean, everything will be covered in this workshop. It's going to be a very holistic approach to this issue. And because we believe a lot in audition preparation and going to an audition with the right package, we will continue this series of audition preparation workshops with Miss Eleonora Pacetti. She will give an extensive workshop on, it's called, I think, Audition Extraordinary in Italiana. And she will work a lot on the choices of repertoire and choices of auditions and choosing the right repertoire for each kind of audition. This is going to be something in process for several weeks after the current masterclass. And then we are having acclaimed opera singers together with conductors and pianists. So it's going to be a duet workshop in the future with famous coaches and singers together, where people could even work on a whole role. We are planning to have, for example, a masterclass La Bohème, where all the roles of La Bohème are going to be worked. And the greatest goal is to have an academia, but not academia. It's going to be a Deutsche Academy in the future for German repertoire, Wagner, Strauss, Mozart, things like that. So what we did with the Italian specialists, we want to do with German specialists, and maybe conclude everything with a big concert this time, because the competition, the Prix Atelier d'Excellence, is now an institution and will be happening once a year. Mm-hmm. And our vision for next year is to be live, but to be streamed again, if possible, worldwide. This is our goal for the next year, if the pandemic leaves us, I hope, very quickly.
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully.
Yes. So these are the plans. There are many more, I mean, under process, but I cannot say, I mean, with certainty right now before we announce officially.
Of course. So people should actually follow you so
yes,
that they can find out.
They should follow us. I think we post interesting stuff. They will have fun. They are interesting things what we post. And they can be informed for everything on our website. Everything is posted there almost daily.
Great. Anna Pardo is saying, great advice coming from a great, honest, and beautiful person. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Anna. I love you. She's in the AD family.
Ted Ganger is saying, you're so right. The rivalry and competition that are part of our business, any businesses, doesn't mean other people are out. After all, it doesn't make them disappear, and we can really only gain from listening to them. And being a real artist requires a generosity of spirit and a willingness to open ourselves. We're all in this together. Yeah.
We have to fight this mentality. I love that we have these comments. There is the other side of things, which is these closed doors and these walls that we talked before about. We have to break these, guys.
Yes.
We have to change the world. We should not wait for the world to change for us. We should do that. And we
have to do that.
We have to do that, and we have to create another reality for us, because when the coronavirus is going to end, people will be like, again, checking all the time their phone for engagements and for their stuff, and they will not be having time like now. And it's going to be hard before. So we have to prepare for now to change something for afterwards.
Exactly.
We have to do, I mean, step by step. We don't expect a revolution here, but we have to do step by step and all together, and believe that together we stand. Alone we fall. This is the meaning of the whole thing.
Yes, totally. Thank you. Thank you, Maria. Thank you for coming. And please share your information in the comments afterwards so people can actually follow you.
Te secretary mine.
Hold on. Efraristo, right?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think we are a perfect example of Greek-Turkish friendship here, which I love.
Totally.
So thank you for hosting me.
Yeah, thank you for coming, and everybody have a nice weekend, and see you next week.
Have a nice weekend and good continuation with what you do. Bye-bye.
Thank you.